Hey guys, Thogden here, and welcome back to the Premier League predictions. We're here again with Thog Dad. You excited?
I love the Premier League, Theo. I tell you what, last week James Trafford was our guest. He's the Accrington Stanley goalkeeper.
I know.
5 points. I got 6 points, which wasn't bad in a difficult weekend. Thogden, you got 10 points.
I'm back. You all laughed at me. Well, I have to say, you're not laughing now, are you?
Well, I'm still laughing at it, but overall, Theo, 60 points to the guest, 80 points to Thogden, 84 to Thog Dad. I'm just holding on to a slender lead. Who is the guest today?
The guest?
Yeah.
We need a bit of a drum roll here. Thogden, give me a drum roll.
I can't do drum
Give me a
rolls.
drum roll. CALFREEZY!
No way! Do you know, Theo, the funny thing, I was in a pub in Chelsea last night. CALFREEZY was there.
Oh,
Will and he was there.
You're
Completely
lying.
random.
This is your whole, Thog Dad beer. Oh, I drink beer. I saw him in the pub. Did you actually?
I see CALFREEZY everywhere. We played football with him. Oh my goodness, that 24-hour football, Theo, was brilliant, wasn't it?
You put in a shift.
Game week 13. What a juicy game week.
Okay, we've got the big CALFREEZY here. Listen, before we get into any of the predictions today, lads, we need to start off with your FPL team. I know you're very proud of it. It's your little baby, so let's see it.
Alright, so I came back from the fellas party and I was really drunk, okay? And I got into bed and for some whatever reason, I was possessed to bring in, for a -4, there's no need for me to be taking -4s. I ended up bringing in Tony and Mbuemo. Right?
Oh.
Just for no good reason. I've doubled up with Rudiger and James. Unfortunately, Chilwell's out.
Did you transfer him out? Did you have him?
No, fortunately, I didn't have him, but I was at the game where he was injured.
In fact, you saw my dad there.
Yes, I did. I did see your dad in the pub afterwards. But Will and he was weirdly happy that Chilwell was injured because a lot of players in our league have Chilwell and me and him don't. So make of that what you will.
Brilliant.
I tell you what, though, 10,000 likes last week, but CALFREEZY is on. I want 15,000 Christmas likes.
Just because Winter Wonderland opens in London and you mug. Right, let's get straight into the game.
I'll tell you what, the first game is Arsenal against Newcastle, 5th against 20th. That's right, Newcastle are rock bottom, 5 points off safety. Think about Arsenal, though, Theo.
They got pumped.
They got pumped by Liverpool after 8-game unbeaten run. And
How'd you come back from that?
Well, you know what I'm noticing, Theo? Week in, week out, the gulf between the big three and everyone else.
Well, Theo Baker went on a podcast. He said Arsenal could win the league.
No
before
chance.
this Liverpool game, he said Arsenal could win the. Run up the clip, Josh.
But mate, I'm not even joking. I would say we're title contenders.
Title contenders.
If you count in Liverpool as title contenders, we're 2 points below them.
Well, I tell you what, I've got a mate who's got money on Arsenal at 80 to 1. Alan, you've lost your money.
Having said all that, Arsenal are a very solid team. I do think they can run for 4th, around 5th place this season. Guarantee European football, which they don't have currently. This will be a solid 2-0 win over Newcastle. Eddie Howe's first game in charge, because I don't think he was even in the stadium for the Brentford game, or he wasn't pitch side. I know that's a fact. Maybe if he was, that wouldn't have been a 3-3 draw. What's your take on that?
Well, that's an interesting one, Theo. Let's talk about Newcastle, because that was a brilliant game.
It was a great game.
And I tell you who impressed me, Joe Linton.
Yeah, I was
My
happy.
goodness, man of the match for me, Theo.
So happy to see him get back to his best. That's why I picked him as the most improved player in Newcastle, and he's proving again why he can cut it in the Premier League. St. Maximin, what a goal.
Oh, Theo, a goal and an assist. I'm thinking of bringing him into my FPL all
And
day
if
long.
only Newcastle won that with the last kick of the game.
I
Can
know,
you imagine?
I know.
4-3, it would have been insane.
I think Newcastle will score. Arsenal 2, Newcastle 1.
What was your take on Arteta kicking off a Klopp though? In the
Oh,
end?
brilliant. I love that,
Yeah,
mate.
but
I love passion in football.
It's good, but it caused Liverpool to turn up and go out there and batter him.
Theo, wait for Clash of the Creators. I'll be on the touchline as a manager. Don't tell anyone.
Well, Dad, you'll be against Ben Foster as manager.
I can't kick off with Ben. He's too nice.
Yes, you can.
I
Think
kick-
about the TikTok clips.
And I can't kick off with David James. He's too big.
Anyway, we agree. On to CALFREEZY.
What are you feeling, mate?
My big question is, has Eddie Howe recovered from COVID yet? Is he going to be at the game?
Yes.
Do we know?
Today, it was just confirmed that he's negative
Okay.
now, and it's his first game for Newcastle.
I don't want them to go down. I love seeing them in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Arsenal, obviously, incredible form. Then they came up against Liverpool. I think it's like a 2-1. I think it's like a 2-1 Arsenal.
Crystal Palace against Aston Villa, 10th against 15th. I suppose we can call this a mid-table clash, can't we, Theo?
Yeah.
Christian Benteke got a brace of goals last weekend. Not too sure about the celebration, but Crystal Palace,
I didn't actually see it. It
unbeaten
was
in
good.
5. It was just a bit crap. I'm sorry, Christian. But he used to be a meme, didn't he? About 2 years ago, and now he's a goal machine.
Who cares, Dad? He's scoring goals. No one's questioning him. The fact that he's come back, people always talk about, Premier League legends were good back in the day. Oh, remember his Liverpool days. Forget that. He's back. He's bagging goals. And I honestly reckon I might sign on fantasy this week.
Wow, that is a very big shout. But Crystal Palace need to turn draws into wins. That's my only complaint. If they did, they'd be going for Europe, Theo.
Yeah.
But Aston Villa, 5 defeats in a row. They bring in Stevie Gerrard and everything changes. But can they make it 2 wins in a row here?
The home team has won this fixture 6 times in a row.
Yes.
I can't back Palace to win this match because I know Steven Gerrard will equalise in the 92nd minute or something. Because his players will be fired up for the shirt now. This will be a high-scoring draw. I think the likes of Conor Gallagher and Benteke will score for Palace. But for Villa, the whole team are going to be fired up. I think they'll score 2 as well. And I reckon it'll be a good 2-2 draw. Do you? What
that is a very good shout. But Gerrard at Rangers last season, incredible defensively, but they broke European records. I reckon things will tighten up a little bit at Villa. I'm going for a 1-1 draw there.
You're not backing Palace to win?
Well, I hope Conor Gallagher gets me some points in fantasy, a 1-1 draw. But what I want to know, CALFREEZY, what's going to happen, mate?
See, this one I really think is a flip of the coin. It really is just whoever turns up and is more up for it on the day. I'm going to go with a 2-2.
Ooh, that's exactly what I've gone for.
Liverpool against Southampton, it's 3rd against 13th. And what can we say about Liverpool? 35 goals this season. That is the most of any team. And I've got to talk again about the brilliant, amazing Trent Alexander-Arnold. Is he the most creative player in that team?
He's a joke. The whole team's a joke right now. Every single player is playing for the badge. Everyone's playing for the club. It's incredible to watch. They're not losing to anybody. There's no point even waiting to hear what I'm going to say with Liverpool. They're probably the best team in the world right now. If they keep up their form for the whole season, I don't know what they could not win.
Yeah, but a word about Southampton. A bit of a mini revival was halted by Norwich City. They'll be very annoyed by that. And the problem is goals there. They only got 11 goals all season. Only Norwich is worse. Che Adams and co have got to start bagging more. So I think it's going to be 3-0 to Liverpool. I agree with you, Theo.
Yeah, I'll say this. Southampton, this fixture is a write-off. Everyone's going to predict Liverpool wins. However, next week at home to the Foxes, different story. They are actually putting in good performances. Hazelhunter will get the results. Stay patient, because it's the Premier League.
CALFREEZY, what's going to happen here, mate?
Great minds think alike. But will we agree on your club, Freezy?
Mate, it's against our academy team. I like to think we will continue our goal scoring record. I think we have something like we scored over 2 goals in the last 15 consecutive games, something like that anyways. There's one thing I don't like doing is predicting Liverpool games because I just have like this weird curse. I feel like every time I predict them to win, something goes wrong. I think we will win 3-1.
We don't want to curse anything, so let's just quickly move on.
No, exactly.
Norwich City against Wolverhampton Wanderers, 19th against 6th, Theo. My goodness, both teams won last week. I bet Norwich fans love it when I say that.
Yeah.
A Pookie party, Theo. 2 in a row. The best form over the last 3 hours.
But the problem is Norwich haven't been dominant. Like, the Canaries are back.
Who cares? 3 points there. 3 points.
That's all that matters. But when you watch the games, do you really think they can continue to win?
I'm sorry to say this, but no, I don't. I think they're going down, but they're not bottom anymore. But let's talk about Wolves. They've climbed from almost rock bottom after 3 games to 6th place. They're playing some great football. They beat West Ham last week.
I know, that's actually a nutty result.
It is, yeah.
But I still think home form comes into play.
Yeah.
You know, something tells me Norwich aren't going to lose this game.
I can see Wolves in Europe next season,
Really?
Theo. Absolutely. You know what? I'm going to go for Norwich 0. I don't think they'll score. Wolverhampton Wanderers 2.
I'm going to go 1-1.
Wow.
I think Norwich will sneak a goal, and I know Wolves will probably be dominant, and this game might finish 2-1 Wolves, and that does haunt me. But I'm going to keep the faith in the Canary boys. Let's see what they can do.
Let's go with a 1-1 draw. I'm going to say this is a draw.
Mate, you just copy me. It's like you got my notes, and you're just using them.
Is that what you said? 1-1?
Yeah.
Brighton and Hove Albion in 9th against Leeds United in 17th. These teams lost last week, didn't they, Theo?
They did.
Now, Brighton's league position is pretty good. 9th, you're in the top half, that's great, but not won for a very long time. So what is going wrong there, Theo?
Do you know what's ironic about this fixture? Brighton last year, they were in Leeds' position currently.
Yeah.
17th, 16th, fighting out the bottom of the table. Leeds last year, they were in Brighton's position this year, 9th place.
That is nutty.
Sneaking into Europe. What went wrong over the summer? And what went right for Brighton?
Tell you what's happened, Theo. To some extent, I think Leeds United have been very unlucky. Leeds against Spurs, the first half, I thought they battered Spurs. I thought they played the better football. They pressed well. They could easily have won that game.
But they threw it away, second half.
They did. Spurs kind of got back into that. I think Leeds are going to be all right. I think it's going to come together very soon. They've still got Bielsa at the wheel. Been a bit unlucky with injuries.
This sort of game is weird because Brighton haven't won in like 8 fixtures now.
Yes, it is a weird one, Theo. Now, Rafinha, that's the big question.
That's
Will
the
he
thing.
be back for Leeds?
I was going to predict a Brighton home win, and it kind of seems obvious to predict like a 2-1 Brighton, but It's Rafinha.
Yes.
He's a joke of a player. He's one of the best wingers in the Premier League.
And you know what? Maybe I'll go to this game. It's going to be a good game, that. Well, the Leeds fans are going to come down the motorway, cheer on the team to a 1-1 draw.
I agree on the 1-1 draw. I nearly said Brighton 2-1, but maybe it'll be Leeds 2-1. I can't call it. Let's go with CALFREEZY. I'm sure he's got a more wacky prediction for us.
Well, I saw some injury news on them, and it's looking like they've got quite a few players back. I don't know if Bamford's back, though. He was the one player
Is this Freezy ITK we're getting? Some in the know?
Bro, come on now. I'm in the right circles now. I'm in the right... I know there's only one way... I take FPL so seriously, I need to know the right people to help me make the decisions. But... Yeah. Yes, I think Rafinha is good to play. I'm going to go with a Leeds win. 1-0 Leeds.
1-0 Leeds. Tasty predictions, different from me.
Brentford against Everton, 14th against 11th. And I'll tell you a Thogdad fact. These are the two teams with the worst records in the league over the last 5 games. Brentford lost 4 in a row there. Then they drew at Newcastle, which will, I don't know, improve their spirits a bit. But what's going to happen here?
In the form table, this is 19th versus 20th.
It is, yes.
This is like a relegation form scrap. Obviously, Everton probably won't go down unless they keep up their recent form. It's quite embarrassing. They both got 1 point in 5 games. Brentford at home just lost to Norwich. Everton have an injury crisis. Damari Gray got injured in the City game. Unsure if he's going to be back for this one. It doesn't look as bad as what they think. It's so difficult for Rafa Benitez to play with Gordon and all these, backup players who aren't ready for the first team, I would argue. I'm going to say 2-1 Brentford.
I'm just going to sit on the fence. I think there might be goals, Theo. I'm going for a 2-2 draw.
I think that's likely because when you bring two bad form teams, you're just going to go out there and try and score goals, aren't they? It's like when Newcastle played Brentford.
Yes.
It might be like it could even be a 3-3. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Over to CALFREEZY, the man from the Fellas podcast.
I've told you what I've done for my FPL. Right? I brought in two Brentford players. 2-0 Brentford. I just like watching Brentford play football, so I'm going to back them.
Burnley in 18th against Tottenham Hotspur in 7th. 2 words for you, Theo. Maxwell Cornet. How good is he?
Yeah, he's a joke. And every time I look at my FPL and everyone's telling me, he could be injured, so I don't sign him. He goes and scores a goal. And it's always a banger.
It is. I might buy... No, that goal last week was sensational to hit a ball with that much power.
I had to give him a little clap.
Burnley unbeaten in 4 games. We should show them more respect, shouldn't we?
We should. Tottenham, do they deserve as much respect as what we're giving them? They got a tight win over Leeds, but that Leeds team was pretty awful in the second half. Kane and Son are still dropping stinkers. They're both better for their country. Conte's not really got it creating for the Tottenham boys. Is it really as good as what people think?
I remember when Tottenham used to score 3 or 4 goals every single game. Harry Kane missed 2 absolute gilt-edged chances against Leeds.
He scored him for England.
Yeah, with an England shirt on, he becomes a different player. What is that all about? 11 goals all season when Liverpool have got 35. Something is wrong at White Hart Lane.
Do you think Burnley going to go and Chelsea? Can they do it?
If Burnley win this, I won't be surprised. But at some point, Spurs are going to score 4 against someone. They're going to punish someone.
Dad, what you don't realise, Burnley in the last 2 home matches scored 3 goals both times. This is Dyche we're talking about. In the last 5 games for Burnley, they've only lost 1.
Yeah.
They're looking good. They're on better form than Tottenham.
I don't know why I'm going to say this, but Burnley 1, Tottenham Hotspur 2. I'm sorry.
I don't know why I'm going to say this, but I completely agree. Because I've fallen for the trap of thinking that Kane and Son are finally going to have a good week. Let's see if CALFREEZY makes it a triple.
They didn't have a great result in Europe yesterday. I don't know if you saw that.
Mate, what is it? Musa
Mura, I don't know. Mid-table in the Slovenian league.
A 94th minute winner as well. That is going to absolutely cripple any team morale that Conte is trying to build here. I can't believe this, but I might even just go for a 1-1 here.
Leicester City against Watford, 12th against 16th. This is kind of a mid-table clash, isn't it? Bit of a surprise that. But Leicester, they're in a mini slump, aren't they? 1 point in 3 games.
Well, it's going to be tough for them. They've got European football on Thursday, and now they've got to go on Sunday and get a result against Watford, who just went and beat United and sacked Ole, and they're all on form, and they're going to be fired up for the game. How are they going to do it?
Well, I tell you what, Theo, Watford, Emmanuel Dennis, your man in FPL, a goal and 2 assists. But I tell you the thing about Watford, Theo, we have disrespected them. They've won 4 games. They've won a third of their games. But what's going to happen in this game, Theo?
Leicester 2-0 Watford. I may have just disagreed with myself completely from my analogy before going on to the prediction. The reason I say the Foxes will get a big home win is because they need it.
Yes.
Brendan Rodgers has not been doing good enough. That 3-0 loss to Chelsea was very bad. They need to go out there and show some character. And this is a game where Watford could be in their heads in a bit of a honeymoon period, knowing that they've just sacked Ole and they've beaten United and Ben Foster's getting assists in the last minute, etc. You know what I mean? What a legend, by the way. I think this will be a Jamie Vardy brace.
Wow, and I think it's going to be Leicester City 2, Watford 1. They'll get a goal from somewhere.
Leicester got some tough games coming up. They need to win this, I'm telling you.
Will Ben Foster get the GoPro and sack another manager? Because Brendan Rodgers, who knows where he's going to be tomorrow?
It's 1-0 Leicester.
Manchester City against West Ham United. It's second against fourth. Two teams in Champions League places. Manchester City, I don't know where to start, but so I'll start with João Cancelo. I was watching him, Theo, in that last game. I thought he was magnificent. He gets everywhere. He thinks he's a forward, Theo. I love that guy. He's so confident. And like I said, at times he's a number 9. He's in the middle. He's on the left. He's on the right. He's finding pockets of space.
And he won't
An incredible player.
He's not going to shag you, mate.
Theo, that's not very nice. Rodrigo, what about that goal, Theo?
Yeah, great goal. I've scored a few of them in my day.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You scored tap-ins.
That is a good point. I was just waiting for your reaction. That is brilliant. The thing is, the Hammers have to travel to Vienna on Thursday, then come back to Manchester on the Sunday for an away fixture. It's a lot of travel.
Now, West Ham, they won 4 in a row and then they lost to Wolves. I think Hammers fans are very happy at the moment, but this is a very tough place to go.
When you're a top manager like Tuchel and Pep and they go into an interview after smashing someone, they're like, oh yeah, we played all right.
Theo, it was like a Rolex, and because of that, it's going to be Man City 2, West Ham United 0.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva masterclass, Man City 3-1 win. And I know all the West Ham fans will have a go at me. It's City away, guys. If you get a result out of this, I will buy a West Ham fan. I'll buy a West Ham shirt for one West Ham fan if they get anything out of this game.
Put your name in the comments. I'm a West Ham fan. This is my name. One of you be drawn out of a hat if West Ham beats City.
Yeah, like and subscribe and do that, and you'll be in.
They beat PSG. Great result without De Bruyne. But West Ham,
they played, and their football was phenomenal as well. They actually played. Yeah, I watched it. They were actually so good. Like such a good team to watch. City, City are going to win this one pretty comfortably. They're at home. I'm going to go City 3-0. Do you reckon getting a West Ham goal there then?
I'm going to say Antonio because I'm keeping the faith on FPL, but I think the international breaks tired him out. You can buy him a private jet to come back early, but it doesn't change.
I saw that.
Yeah,
that was amazing. It's amazing. Cool. I need people to buy me a fucking private jet to go and see them.
And finally, Chelsea against Man United, top of the league against 8th. One of these teams has won 4 of the last 5. One of them has lost 4 of the last 5. Work it out for yourselves.
Massive
and Chelsea, how good are they recently?
They both played Tuesday night Champions League football. They both won. Villarreal away for United, Ronaldo. So I watched the first half, went to the pub, saw him scream a knuckleball free kick for the 300th time into the wall, and I was like, oh yeah, United might just win this 1-0, Villarreal might sneak it. I was wrong. Ronaldo turns up. Every time I jinx it, he turns up. I don't think there's been a time where Ronaldo's clutched a game and I haven't been like, oh, where's your goat?
All I can say, Theo, put a contract in front of Michael Carrick. Whatever he wants, put it in the contract, sign it. Michael Carrick is at the wheel.
Yeah, no one's done that
Chelsea
one yet,
I know.
I've seen that like 5 times.
I know,
already.
It's not original. I nabbed that. Okay, I nabbed it. But you know what? Chelsea just brilliant, weren't they? Against Juventus, just brilliant. And the young English lads really impressed.
They were. Oh, we were at the game and it was just insane. Like Chelsea are up there to potentially hold back the Champions League. Imagine holding the Champions League. That's an incredible statement. And it's all thanks to Tuchel, one of the best, if not the best manager in the world. English teams are so goated right now. We're in an era where the Premier League is by far the best league in the world and they're going to be all competing up there. The 4 clubs that make it to the semi-finals might be 4 English teams.
Theo, an English club will 100%. Win the Champions League this season. Clip this. I'd be amazed if I'm wrong. It's not going to be Juventus for sure.
But the funny thing, going back to this Chelsea United fixture, head-to-head in the last 10 games, United have won 4 of them. Chelsea have only won 2. United are better coming into this, but it's with Carrick. They don't look as good as Chelsea. They're not the same wavelength. They're not Premier League title chasers, contenders this year.
Theo, are you expecting a Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Fred McTominay masterclass, or do you think Chelsea will win? Because I think Chelsea will.
Done it before.
They have. Chelsea will batter Man United 3-1. I'm giving Cristiano a goal.
I'm gonna say it's a bit closer. Looking at history. They will break the history, though, I agree. Chelsea 2-1. And I think Werner's going to score. Maybe a Lukaku return. Yeah, could definitely bully that United defence. CALFREEZY, on to the final. Big game. What are you saying, big boy?
This is easy. This is easy. This is a given.
It's Chelsea versus United, mate.
And I am going to be locked in watching this game.
So-
But I can only see this going one way. I watched Chelsea versus. I saw your dad at the game, the Chelsea Juventus game. Chelsea just look unbelievable this season. It's honestly their wing backs. I think they'll do United in a 3-1 with like a Ronaldo sort of consolation.
Consolation, yeah. What do you reckon the problem is at United?
Well, look, it sounds like they're about to announce or
They have Rangnick, yeah.
Rangnick, and that is the best decision that club has made in so long. And yeah, if I was a United fan, look, don't worry about this Chelsea game. Like, chances are you're probably going to get beat, and if you get something from it, then fantastic. But I would be really positive with this sort of 6-month deal that they've got going on with him.
Definitely.
But not the best part is that they're still going to keep him around the club for another 2 years after that.
Technical director.
I think, right? Yeah, exactly. And I
that's
think
brilliant.
that is the big
And he only
big
signed
win
the
for them.
contract knowing he'd be upstairs after. So it's basically
Right.
saying, we'll take Rangnick for the time being, but if we want to bring in a top manager in 6 months, like a Pochettino or a Ten Hag, what are you thinking? Who do you think is the prime Manchester United manager?
If I was a United fan, I would want Ten Hag.
Yeah.
But if it ends up with Pochettino, I think that's still great.
Cal, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the channel. We are just waiting for that invitation to come on the Fellas podcast. Me or Thog Dad, it doesn't matter. We'll drink a drink, we'll say our say. Smash the subscribe button if you're new here and you want to see more football content.
Thank you for coming on the channel. Really appreciate it. Let's see
Thank
how
you for
your
having
Norwich
me.
comes down.
Oh gosh, this I'm going to be all over football Twitter here. This could get messy.
It will never be as bad as Theo Baker, mate. Don't worry.
Oh no! Have you had Theo on?
Mate,
You need to get Theo on.
next time. That's next week, mate. We're getting him on.
Oh, he is something else. That Pitchside podcast is hilarious.
He said Arsenal are going to win the league.
Yeah. What can you do, man? Look, you gotta respect the man that sticks to his beliefs.
Yeah, fair play to him. Fair play to him.
Nice
Right,
one. Thank you very much for having me, though.
top man.
This mug, I'm not seeing him for a weekend. I'm off to Barcelona.
Yay!
I'm not actually going to a game in Barcelona. I'm just going for a few, good little.
Did I just
little
cheer out loud when I
did.
heard you were away? It's a bit harsh, that, isn't it?
So Thog Dad's going to be taking over the vlogs. He's going to be going to Brighton, Leeds, and
Or I might go to Brentford.
Which does mean I think on the Saturday and Sunday, on the Sunday I know I'll be live streaming the games.
Yeah.
On Saturday I might just take it off because we'll post on Friday. But Sunday Chelsea United stream live from Barcelona with Such Kane and Short Down the United boys. Get ready for it. Until then, goodbye.
See ya.